But the Hoosier with the most carries tonight is actually Mendoza. Is you surprised that he has this many carries on the day?
It certainly is, I would say, encouraging that Mendoza kind of has more of a dual threat ability than you would anticipate. I think that Fernando Mendoza, a lot of those runs have been him reacting to the pressure, understanding that he doesn't have receivers as open as he would like, and then responding by turning a play that could have been a situation where he's throwing it away for an incompletion into a positive gain of 1 or 2 or 3 yards on the ground. His longest run was of 8 yards. His average is 3.2. I think it's more so speaks to the mental aspect of Fernando Mendoza's game than what he's doing on the ground with his legs, and I'm really happy with the way he's been recognizing pressure and recognizing coverages in that way.
Mendoza's mobility, definitely more of a feature than a bug, but you touched on the receivers there. The receiver who's playing the best today, Omar Cooper Jr., 9 catches, 149 yards, and a hat trick, 3 touchdowns.
Absolutely, and we saw him step off the field and enter the injury tent for a little bit of time there in the second quarter. He did come back, and he does seem to be A-okay, but you mentioned his stats. He's been fantastic, and the number that really jumps out to me is not only does he have 9 catches, he has 9 catches off of 9 targets. Every single time Mendoza looks at Omar Cooper Jr., there so far in this game has been a 100% chance that he's going to catch it. We'll see if that carries into the second half. And a quick sidebar, we'll see how long these starters continue to play throughout the second half. Of course, Indiana 45-0 at the break at the moment, but you're absolutely right. And Fernando Mendoza being a transfer quarterback, there were a few questions about how he would do with just about every single one of these receivers besides Jonathan Brady that he had not played with prior to this season. And it seems like Mendoza and these receivers have found their groove and that this passing game is in tip-top form here in Week 3.
Andrew, what impressed you the most about the Hoosiers in this game?
Well, what impressed me the most was the consistency from drive to drive on both sides of the ball. We've seen in past games, right, against Old Dominion, there were struggles early on, right? They went down 7-0 to start that game. Against Kennesaw State in the second half, there were a few explosive plays, and obviously they were able to get points on the board. Indiana State did not. 7-3-0, and that clearly tells you that just about every single possession Indiana was scoring, and just about every single possession they were scoring, they scored a touchdown. And on the other end, defensively, Indiana State, or rather defensively for the Hoosiers, they prevented Indiana State from getting any more than 2 first downs for the vast majority of this game. They ended with 5 first downs, the Sycamores did. So Fernando Mendoza, 19 for 20 passing, right? We mentioned in the halftime about how great this rushing attack has been. The receivers, there were multiple threats offensively and, again, defensively, just completely suffocating anything Indiana State possibly would try to bring to life offensively for themselves. And obviously Indiana comes away with a 73-0 victory and plenty to celebrate.